Hi, I'm Dave, and I know wrestling. Do you want another TNA star who's just leveraging their success to try and go elsewhere? Do you want another wrestler that you never heard of 2 years ago, but now have to pretend like you always loved? And do you want another reigning TNA champion in the Royal Rumble? Only this one didn't do as good as Mickie James. Then allow me to introduce to you my client for Dave Knows Wrestling's Honest Promos. The other TNA Joe that went to NXT, another wrestler with the clap, sexual vanilla Mark Hendry, catchy theme song, Joe Hendry. Behold, yet another wrestler who was only able to get over because they had a catchy theme song. But where Fandango was at least able to get a WrestleMania debut win out of his deal, Joe so far has only managed a paltry appearance in the Royal Rumble, lasting only 3 minutes and 35 seconds. And he has also received a brief stint in NXT. But being TNA World Champion probably means he was going to get that anyway. Although, while we're on that subject, let's not act like being in WWE's developmental at the ripe old age of 36 is anything to brag about. Just ask Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura how well you do on the main roster when you're the old guy in NXT. Okay, maybe I'm being just a little bit harsh. Even though Joe is yet another TNA wrestler with a total earworm of an entrance song that sounds like repurposed Christian rock, take that Bobby Roode! We should point out that Joe is so popular right now, it seems that no one minds that he took the title off of yet another bleach blonde with an amateur background, Dolph Ziggler. Although I will say, at least Nick Nemeth had the decency to be a washed up WWE wrestler to go with TNA and not the other way around. That's the way things are supposed to be. Additionally, there are some people who have Joe Hendry so gassed up in their minds that after the partnership deal was announced, there are some out there who really believe that Joe is going to be the sole reason why WWE and TNA merge into a brand new super conglomerate. Guess some people really do believe in recycling Bo Dallas's old gimmick now that he's decided to play his brother's uncle. Oh, but that reminds me, maybe you can help me out with something here, because I've never been too good with the whole facial recognition thing, and I think people get creeped out way too easily these days. But can someone explain to me how this smile right here isn't what some people would refer to as creepy? But hey, let's not take his smile away from him, because I'm pretty sure that's the only signs of personality that he has. Now look, I'm sure that many of you out there don't want to admit that you're just jumping on the bandwagon for this flavor of the month. And I'm sure you also don't want to admit that Joe Hendry is just another wrestler that you're going to aggressively love for a short period of time before you get bored with your shiny new toy, just like you did for Ricky Starks and LA Knight. Yeah! And I also know that many of you won't come clean and cop to the fact that you were just politely and cluelessly nodding your head the first time someone asked you, "Do you believe in Joe Hendry?" But to the contrary, many of you are going to double down and claim that you like him because he's a good wrestler and that you always liked him. Meanwhile, when he was in What Culture Pro Wrestling playing a Rosebud, or during his first runs in NXT and Impact, you probably had no idea who he was. I'm also beginning to wonder how many of you remember that it was his feud with AJ Francis that kicked off his sudden wave of popularity. That's right, the 6'5" flop dollar could more easily get this nobody over than he can get over the top rope. And sure, by now, I'm willing to bet that you're using the internet's favorite defense mechanism for whenever someone calls you out on your bullshit, and you're saying that I'm just a hater, when instead you could just own up to being a fan who goes along with whatever's popular. Because after all, if you believe in a pro wrestler, isn't that what a mark is in the first place? In the end, if you want a wrestler that they love in United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, wait, nope, wrong song. A wrestler that keeps needing people to say that they believe in him, like a kid with low self-esteem who sucks at soccer. And a wrestler whose finisher is somehow an elevated rock bottom. Then allow me to introduce to you my client for Dave Knows Wrestling's Honest Promos. The prestigious no one. The carpet doesn't match the drapes. Average Joe. Not Drew McIntyre. Joe Leave! Say his name and he appears. Joe Hendry. I said, Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry. He's still not here. Well, the song lied to me.